Hi, this is Ankit Mittal, and today we are going to discuss about how Vault works. So we previously covered the Vault introduction in our previous video. You can go through it, and today we are going to discuss about the how the Vault works. So Vault is designed in such a way that it can keep the database credentials, your application credentials, service credentials. It can be any kind of credentials, API keys for the external services, and credentials into the vault and access them directly from the application using the APIs with support for the various authentication mechanisms. So you can store all your credentials, certificates, API keys directly into a centralized location of the server which are having the vault installed. So you can keep all of these resources directly into a centralized location like vault, and then make your application to call these uh, for these credentials using the APIs during the time of the deployment. So like if you are using need a password for authentication to your database, then authentication call can be made during the time of the deployment of your configuration file, and after the successful authentication from the vault server, the API will directly provide the password for the MySQL, so that you don't have to actually write it in the plain text and commit that into the version control system, because that increases the security risk. The other ways, or there are other ways of using the vault as well, where you can directly vault supports the encryption and decryption of the services without actually storing your data. So that can also be a use case, but depending upon your various features, we are going to discuss about the various use cases of the vault in our later video. But for now, you need to understand that there can be direct API calls can be made to the vault, and vault supports the various authentication mechanisms. So any of those authentication mechanisms which are used by your application can be made to the vault for gaining the access to those secrets. Now, it's necessary to understood that the Vault has more advantages than there are other similar services like the HSM's AWS KM service or your Keybase service. So, depending upon the use cases, like Vault is actually holding more advantages, like it has more features than the any of the similar services which we just discussed. So that's how the world works. We are going to describe the features in our next videos. So kindly subscribe to our channel to get the notifications whenever we post our latest videos. Thanks for watching the video. See you in next session.